Hello traders and welcome to the market opening preview on a Friday, February 26, 2016. Traders, great to be with you, coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. This is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Please come visit us at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions, and it's a cool website to check out. Traders, good to be with you on a Friday, end of our trading week. A lot going on through this week, and quite a bit of price action, I have to say. A little lackluster yesterday, but we're going to check out what we have in stock for today. I think we're going to see a lot of profit taking and all that good stuff, and we'll get to that in just a minute. Let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilda. I'm your moderator for the market opening preview series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006, and in 2008 I retired from a wonderful 27-year career in the great state of Florida. Traders, 9 days later, came to Thailand for a 3-month holiday. Well, I'm in my 8th year, and I'm still here in Asia, and absolutely love trading Asia. Traders, I trade using fundamentals and technicals. I have to tell you, I am a technician, though. I really like doing technicals. I enjoy looking at price action, price structure, candlestick pattern, support, resistance. I use Fibonacci all the time. And I do use indicators. I use, for my Forex trading, I do use harmonics. And for my options trading, I do use Ikimoku. And I do use 3 EMAs on my charts, which is the 200 exponential moving average, which you see every day on these charts. I use a 55 EMA, and I use a 10 EMA. So those are the EMAs that I use on my live charts as I trade. And I also listen to fundamentals. I pay a pretty good amount of money every month for a news feed. Need to know what's going on around the globe. Remember, we're macro traders. We trade the globe. We don't just trade a currency pair. So I need to know what's going on. I don't trade the numbers as they're released. I usually wait about, I would say, a good 40 minutes before I enter a trade after the numbers are released. And I have a good example of that for you today on a pair that had numbers released but went in the other direction. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. So fundamentals are really important. You can't just do one or the other. You need to know both. You have to be a technician and you have to be a fundamental person and understand what's going on around the globe. Okay? All right. And of course, when the numbers are coming out. All right, let's get the legal stuff out of the way. This is our risk disclaimer. Forex trading has a large potential of rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex market. Traders, most importantly, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's talk about some news and commentary. Let's take a look at the numbers as U.S. closed yesterday. Really on the upside, the Dow 30 closed up 1.29%. The S&P 500 closed up 1.13%. And the NASDAQ closed positive 0.87%, with the small cap 2,000 closing up positive 0.84%. Let's take a look at the Eurozone. Looks really good. The DAX closed up 1.79%. The FTSE 100 out of London closed up 2.48%, and the CAC 40 out of Paris closed up positive 2.24%, with the Eurostock 50 positive 1.92%. All right, let's move on over to Asia. Let's take a look at what we have going on here. Remember, these markets are currently open. The Nikkei 225 is positive 1.26%. The S&P ASX 200 out of Australia is negative 0.08%. The China A50, which is open, is positive 0.71%. The Hang Seng out of Hong Kong is positive 2.08%. And the Kospi out of Seoul is up positive 0.31%. Traders, let's take a look at our economic calendar. Believe it or not, we only have one high-impact news event, and that is in the U.S. session. However, we did have some data come out today. We had Tokyo Core CPI came out at negative 0.1. Consensus forecast was negative 0.2, so that was a good number for them. And China had house prices year on year came out at 2.5. Must have been in line with expectations. There was no number on there. We have a lot of medium impact data throughout the Eurozone today. From the Euro, we have GDP out of Spain. We have HICP out of Spain, CPI. We have a lot of stuff through the European session. However, the big one is, and there's only one, and that's the U.S. session has GDP quarter on quarter in the U.S. session today. We do have, what else do we have? I think we got somebody speaking today. I thought I saw, but I don't see it, my friends. We have Michigan consumer sentiment. I really like that data that comes out because it is a really market mover, and also the Michigan consumer expectations comes out today. Those are labeled as low impact news event. Yes, we do have FOMC member Powell speaks today, so you want to keep an eye on that, and that's in the U.S. session. That'll be at 10:30 a.m. and that'll be 22:30 hours in Thailand. Just to give you an idea about what time that is. All right, that's what's going on with our indices and our news events for today. Let's head on over to the charts. I thought price action was pretty sluggish yesterday, but let's take a look. Here's our euro dollar. Sorry about I cut the numbers off there. I didn't mean to do that. All right, so this moved down nice yesterday. I did make some a nice hunk of pips on this down move here in the U.S. session. And also you can see just later in the New York session, of course, I was sleeping. This is like 2 o'clock in the morning here, 1 o'clock in the morning. And now we're below the daily pivot point, which is really great because, as we know, the daily pivot point is resistance now. And we'd love to get in this at 1.1019, and we'll get out at 1.0992. Now, true, it's only a 40 pip trade, folks. But it's a Friday, and we have to be careful on a Friday, right? What do we have to worry about? Well, one thing we have to worry about is that we have people that are going to be taking profits and position squaring, right? So the 1.0992 take profit zone is the S2 reversal pivot point. And if you look left of the chart, there is some price action, but it's not that strong, to be honest with you. And we'll just have to see how price reacts today. But this is a good spot to get in, and we'll wait for the London Open to do that. All right, let's take a look at the pound. Pound, this is the same chart as yesterday. Folks, pound hasn't done anything. This moved up, came back down, then just went sideways for the rest of the day. They had data yesterday. No reaction. I was in front of my charts during the London session, and really no reaction. This reaction that you're seeing here was after data release. This down move here was later in the day, really into New York, and I did make some nice pips on that. Actually, I made pips on the euro dollar and the pound dollar yesterday. Made some good pips on this down move. I wasn't going to fight the trend, folks. The trend is down. This isn't a downtrend, but today we're looking at the same thing. I want this to pull back to this all-one pivot, and let's take this down at 1.3998, and we'll take profit at 1.3889. So nice trade plan today. We just need some price action, and we have plenty of data today for catalysts, so that's not going to be an issue. Let's take a look at the Aussie. Yeah, the Aussie, look at this, made this move to the upside. I put a resistance line on the chart here. I want to sell this, folks. I do not want to buy the Aussie dollar. Alrighty, I do not want to buy the Aussie dollar. So this is resistance, and we want to get in here at 0.7239, and we'll get out at 0.7187, which is a 200 exponential moving average. It's also right above the S1 pivot. So I want to sell this, and this is in an inactive zone, right? We're in between. We're in Asia, but Asia is really quiet today. So this is an inactive area, but we want to sell this, right? The Aussie dollar is very bearish, and it would take a lot for me to come back and buy this. A way you can do that is the fib that red candle is at that resistance line all the way down to right above the 200 exponential moving average, that blue candle with that wick there, and fib that swing and see where we're at, and if it needs to pull back down to the daily pivot and maybe take it back up again. But at this point, this is resistance, and we sell at resistance, right, and we buy at support. All right, let's take a look at the Euro Aussie, one of my great pairs to trade. And I didn't trade this yesterday. I'm really sorry I didn't. Look at this move to the downside. Really nice price action here. This pair just, when it's in its trend, it just does such great work, right? Just came down, went sideways, came back down again. Here we are, inactive zone, New York closed, Now we're sideways, and I want to see a pullback up to the daily pivot, which is, with the Euro Aussie, it's great about giving pullbacks. So I'd like to get in this at 1.5268, and we'll get out at the support one pivot at 1.5166. So this is a 100 pip trade, my friends. So your entry doesn't have to be exact, right? You can enter this, you can put a trend line here at these last two candles. Now, if you're opening this video or looking at this video at London session, you have to go back about 11 candles and you'll see where I'm at, because I do record this in the Asia session. So, a sell here is okay, right? We don't necessarily have to get all the way back up to the pivot. It's not that crucial. We have a 100 pip trade, like I said, here. So we have plenty of room to maneuver this. So it's not as bad. All right, here's the euro yen. This is what I was talking about. Remember, I just told you that the, Tokyo had data come out today, and price did the reverse, right? You would expect the yen to be strong. This is Asia, folks, and price just is moving to the upside. Now, it's been probably about 45 minutes since I made this slide, so I'm not quite sure where it's at as I'm talking to you, but this move up, I guarantee you, it's not below this trend line. Now, this is a 4-touch trend line, and a break to this trend line is great. We want to retest, and then we'll sell it, right? And that's at 124.47. We want to take profit at our support zone at 123.29. I do see I put a star here, and I do see some price action over here in that corner, and we want to be careful of that as we see that price action on that side. It's just above the S1 pivot there. And if you look to the left of the chart, there's some price action there. So I would expect to bounce there. I expect to bounce at the daily pivot. I expect to bounce, right? And that's okay. But as long as we know what's going to happen, we're prepared for it. And that means, again, putting in an intelligent stop, right? A stop that needs to be there, and that's really the whole thing about trading, right? Capital preservation, right? Live to trade tomorrow. Be able to trade. Open your charts on the next Asia session, or if it's Sunday night if you're in the United States, or it's early on a Monday morning if you're in Thailand. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the New Zealand dollar. One of my favorites. This is an entry, folks. This is an entry right now. This is an entry for the New Zealand dollar at 0.6738. This is at resistance on one pivot point. Yep, the shot up yesterday, and we just want to take this down. I just want to sell the New Zealand dollar. I do not want to buy the New Zealand dollar, folks. I have no intentions of buying the Kiwi. This little run we have here, it's okay. They can do their stop run or whatever you want to call it. There's no reason for the Kiwi to be strong. Really, there's no reason to be. So I would say it's probably because we had dollar weakness yesterday more than we had New Zealand strength, right? So I would blame this on dollar weakness. And the last I looked, and that was in the New York session, we were at 97 something, 68, 97, 38. Was it 68 or 38? But we were at 97. We were in the 97s on the dollar. So the dollar's doing okay. We'll get up to that 98 area probably today. Wouldn't surprise me at all. I think the dollar is going to get strong. I don't think the Fed is going to raise interest rates in March. I think that's pretty much off the table. And I think they're gonna wait and see what happens. Wait for probably a week from today. We have non-farm payrolls. I think they're going to wait for these numbers to come out and see what. Believe it or not, it's work hours and average earnings is really critical that they look at when they're looking at NFP. You think they're looking at the job numbers. Yeah, they do, but that's not really critical for them. They're really looking at average earnings and hours worked, and that's really what is what the Fed is looking at. Yeah, sure, they're looking at the main number, but that's not the primary number that they're looking at. And I'm sure they're hoping that the unemployment rate stays down where it is. Okay, so that's what we're looking at there. Well, traders, that wraps up our 6 currency pairs. I expect to get an exciting day today trading the Forex markets, and I'm really looking forward to it. Good Friday to be trading and being in the markets and getting our fingers wet. Be careful over the weekend. We have a G20 summit that starts today. on a Friday, and it's for 2 days. So be careful if you're holding trades over the weekend. Like I said, we have a G20 summit over the weekend. So be careful. Friday and Saturday, 2 days, G20 summit. So be careful. Traders, I have myself, William Gilday, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading. I want to thank you. And remember, today is Friday, so after the New York close, we will have the Friday wrap-up. And that is where we go over about 16 daily charts, and all we're looking at is price action for the week ahead. Traders, I'm only 30 seconds over today. All right, traders, have a great day, and always remember to trade smart and not hard. I'll see you in the next stage session. Have a great weekend. Talk to you next time. Take care, traders. Bye-bye.